Good morning, everybody. I appreciate your patience in switching up this broadcast this morning instead of yesterday. I had a lot of family that was here over the weekend, and that was wonderful. And so I'm ready to go today. Hey, I had a friend that stopped me out on her walk this morning, and we started talking about preparedness. And it got me thinking about the different ways that we need to be prepared. I immediately thought of the Lord telling us that when ye are prepared, ye shall not fear. And so there is a lot of fear and anxiety that is happening in our world right now. A lot of people being overwhelmed with the social and economical and the food chain supply that is suffering, the increase of costs on food and gas and just everything in general. The cost has gone up. And I've noticed that there is quite a level of fear in the hearts of people. And so I wanted to talk just a little bit today about 4 different areas in our lives that we can work on our preparedness to help us to be more confident and reassured that we're doing our part to make sure that we are prepared in every needful thing, right? And a lot of this is an act of faith, really. An act of faith that the Lord is going to bless us and our families as we work to be prepared in all of the different areas of our lives. And so the thing that I want to talk about is the physical area of preparedness, the spiritual element of preparedness, the temporal, and the mental and emotional aspect, because all of those areas work together as a whole. And sometimes we compartmentalize each one of those areas and something gets left out. And when we do that, then we're out of balance and we don't sync very well in our day. So let's talk about each one of those areas. The physical aspect of being prepared. We all know that as we get older, that our body starts to wear down. We are more inclined to the aches and pains and things like that that can attribute to just an inactivity level and also some illnesses that take place. And so the aspect of physical preparedness that I want to talk about today is meal planning. If you are trying to eat mindfully and nutritiously, one of the things that will help you is in your meal planning and preparation, so that you already have your pantry and your refrigerator stocked full of foods that you know are going to give you the nourishment and the energy that you need day in and day out. So plan for foods and meals that you enjoy and that your family enjoy. I'll give you a little tool that I used when my children were growing up that worked really successfully, and also that I still use today when I introduce a new recipe into our family menus. So when I picked out a recipe, I would ask my children in the meal, and sometimes I'd be able to tell right away, but is this a smiley face? Is it a face that, just has a straight line, or is it a frowny face? And over time, the only recipes that I would make are those with a smiley face. And I would incorporate new recipes. Once a week, I would add a new one, and I would bring up and say, what do you think, guys? Is this a smiley face, or is it a frowny face? Should we not make this recipe again? And so it helped my family to be able to incorporate new foods, new recipes, and we knew exactly where they were. And sometimes if it was kind of maybe so, I don't know, maybe once in a while, then I could go back and tweak that recipe and find out exactly what it was that they didn't like, because maybe I really enjoyed that recipe. So what could I do to help incorporate that with my family? when you are planning for your meals, it will help you to be able to avoid some of that unconscious emotional spending when you go to the grocery store. And so you'll find that you can look through your fridge and find out what foods you still have left in there and build your menus around the things that you still have in your home that you can incorporate for the next week. And that will help you to save money. It will help you not to waste food. And you will already know that you have the ingredients in your home to create some really nourishing meals and snacks for your family. Okay? So, on to the spiritual. The first thing that I thought about was the parable of the 10 virgins. You know, the 10 virgins, they were all waiting for the bridegroom to come. And 5 of those virgins had brought extra oil for their lamps. They were prepared. They knew that it might take some time for the bridegroom to come. And so they had prepared themselves by bringing that oil. The other 5 that were not prepared, they were lacking. They missed the bridegroom coming because they hadn't prepared in advance. Now, I don't want that for anybody. And so the more that we can spiritually prepare ourselves, and I want to talk about that with the little things that we do every day. Every day we put a little bit of that oil into our lamp for preparation, for our spiritual preparation. And one of the biggest things that I wanted to emphasize as far as spiritual preparation is really paying attention to that inner voice inside of you. When you have a question about something or you're wondering what to do, or maybe you're out and about somewhere and you get this feeling, this thought that maybe you should do something, or you should go visit somebody, or maybe you shouldn't go down a specific road. Whatever that is, to learn how to really be intuitive and listening to that voice within you. Because I will tell you that that voice inside of you that is giving those warnings or promptings to do something, that is a way that you can see that God is actively participating in your life and that He cares about you. So learn to tune in, use your mindfulness, your awareness to be aware of those thoughts and those feelings that come to you. And when you do that, and it leads you to something that's good or protects you, then you're not going to go far astray. You're going to be prepared the more that you listen to that inner voice. Okay? Next is the temporal. How are you doing on supplying food for your family? Have you thought about that? Do you have a place in your home that you can put some extra food supply? The thing that I automatically think about this was when the pandemic started in 2020 and everyone panicked. I went to the store just to pick up a couple of things, and the line of people was clear from the front of the store to the back of the store in the meat department. Every single aisle was full of people as they were packing their carts full of food, and of course, wondering where the toilet paper was and how they were going to live without it. So, part of the preparation and being able to be at peace with yourself and comforted in knowing that you are doing your part and not to go out in a panic and not to go into debt in order for you to do this. But every time that you have a payday, that you set aside a little bit of money to buy a little bit of extra. So maybe you're buying 2 cans of green beans for your menu planning. And with your preparation on that temporal aspect, you're going to buy 1 or 2 more. And you're going to put those aside for that time of need. Because we know that the food supply chain is really suffering right now. And it's not going to stop. We are here in Utah, we are in a terrible drought. And it is affecting everything. Our lawns are dying. My garden plants aren't doing quite so well. And so that is affected all across the country. with different things, whether it's drought, whether it's flooding, it doesn't matter. But you can have some peace of mind if every paycheck you're taking out just a little bit to put away. Buy yourself a can of freeze-dried or dehydrated food. Stock up on some wheat and some beans, some rice. Those ingredients are very inexpensive. They're filling, they are nutrient dense, and a little bit goes a long way. And so if you have some of those things, then you are going to feel more secure. Now, with that, my friends, we have been talking for a while about eating whole foods, about eating the most nutritionally packed foods that you can to provide your body with the greatest health. If you are saying to yourself, I don't know how to cook dried beans, and my body is not going to react very well when I eat them, what on earth do I do with wheat? How do I cook dried rice? I always buy the pre-boiled rice. Okay, that is part of your preparation. You need to learn how to cook nutritious and delicious foods for your family using those long-term food items. So give yourself a challenge to just one of your meals that you're going to buy you some dried beans, soak them overnight because that will help with that gas production, and wash them. Rinse them off before you cook them. Get your body used to eating whole foods so that you don't have that adverse reaction. If there comes a time when we are forced to use our food storage, you will be prepared. Your body will be prepared. You won't be put into a situation of, I don't know how to cook this, and my body is reacting adversely because I haven't been eating this way. So give yourself that challenge. If that isn't something that you have been doing, it will help you to feel more prepared and feel more calm and at ease that you are ready for whatever may come. Your family will have enough. Okay, the next aspect is the mental and emotional preparedness. We can't expect to just go and go and go and go and expect our bodies and our minds to continue working under that amount of stress. These circumstances that are taking place in our world today are very stressful. And so for you to learn the techniques of self-soothing, and that comes through your meditation, it can come through journaling, it can come from just going out for a walk, whatever it takes to be able to get you in a place of calm and releasing that dopamine and the serotonin, all of those chemicals and things that we've talked about with the parasympathetic brain, that you learn how to calm down so that your body knows how to react in situations that are stressful. And you can pull yourself out of that because, let's face it, we live in a really stressful time. But part of that, in being able to be prepared in that area, is what are you looking at? Are you looking at all of the tragedies and the hardships and all of the economic problems? Are you focusing on those things? Because if you are building that stress within your body. So instead, this is not about avoiding or not being aware of what's going on. That is important. But it's about where is your focus? Because even though all of those things are going on in our world, there is so much good that's going on. And there's so much beauty in this world as well, and in people. We hear about all of the bad things and the shootings and just all of that stuff. But there is so much good going on. And I think that overall, people want to be good. And so as you extend yourself in that goodness, you extend that to other people, and you are actively every day in your emotional and mental preparedness that you are looking for those good things in yourself, in the people around you, and in the world. Actively be looking for them. And I will tell you what, you'll find them. Because what you turn your focus to is what you will find. So when you are able to turn your focus to the good things, guess what happens to your mental and emotional preparedness? It helps you to be calm. It helps you to be able to see the good. It helps you to be able to experience more joy in your life. And so those are the 4 areas that I would challenge you on as far as preparedness. It's like in the movie Finding Nemo, when Nemo's dad, Marlin, is out swimming trying to find him, and Dory comes along, and her little saying is, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So don't become overwhelmed by all of these things. Remember, take those little steps. Small and simple things bring great things to pass. And so it's just an active participation in being prepared in these different areas: physically, spiritually, temporally, and emotionally and mentally. So there you go, my friends. Something for you to think about and to do some self-evaluation and see where you are in those areas, and just do a little something, just something small that will help you give that yourself that peace of mind that you're doing what you can to be prepared. And the Lord will bless you for it. I know He will. I've seen it over and over again in my life. And so take care, my Mindful Journey friends. I hope you have a wonderful week. And until next time, remember, quiet the mind, nourish the body, and enliven the soul. Take care, everyone.